Courage in football generally is seen as venturing into the unknown, be that putting your head over the loose ball in traffic, running with the flight of the ball, or climbing to your feet when your body cries to stay down. Beau Vernon has lifted the bar to another level. Coaching from a wheelchair he will occupy for life due to an on-field accident that didn't allow him to get up. Welcome, Beau.
Thanks, Mike.
I reckon the hardest job in football, second hardest job in football, would be for a bloke at 26 to be coaching men in a senior competition. The hardest job would be doing that at 26 and being in a wheelchair. You're the coach of the Leongatha Parrots. How's it going?
Yeah, we had a good start to the season, and enjoying the coaching. And
last year, coaching position becomes vacant.
Yep.
You decide to have a crack at it. What was the reaction at Leongatha when you rang whoever you rang and sort of said, look, will you take me seriously?
I went to the last game of the season last year, watched some mates and brother play, and just wasn't really happy with the way things were going at the club, and thought I really could make a difference. And yeah, on the Monday I rang the president and said, you know, if I apply for the job, you're going to take me seriously? And he said, yeah, for sure. And he said, put something together and we'll have a meeting. So
you said there shouldn't be any limits to this. My brain's active, I know football, and I want the job.
Yeah, exactly. I feel I can do it just as well as anyone else. You know, whether I was in a wheelchair or not. I would reckon I would probably be close to applying for the coaching job if I was still playing there as a player, and they've said that as well. And yeah, it shouldn't. No different really being in a chair. It does have its obstacles, as does life now for me, but there seems to be ways around everything these days. You're
amazingly positive for the predicament that you're in through no fault of anyone's. It's just an unfortunate accident on a football field. I want to take you back to the start of this season 2015. The AFL invites you to deliver the keynote speech at the launch to the season. Let's just have a listen to a little bit of that.
2.5 years ago, I had a decision. Did I want to bury my head, wonder why me, blame other people for what had happened, and go through life with resentment and have people do everything for me? Or did I want to look toward the future, to the next little goal, and try to achieve as much as I possibly could? For me, the answer was simple, but it could have easily gone either way.
How were you that day? I mean, that's a big forum, that. Launch of the season, all the heavyweights of the football industry are there. How nervous were you?
I wasn't too nervous. And then 4 o'clock that day, I found out it was going to be televised, which made me pretty nervous. And then I saw the ramp to get up there, and when I sit still for a while, my body kind of sometimes locks up and tries to throw me backwards out of my chair.
Really?
Yeah.
Literally, does it?
Yeah, so a couple of times I've gone head over.
Yep.
And fallen out backwards, but yeah, so I was a bit, and I'm pretty stubborn. They said, oh, you want someone to give you a hand getting up the ramp, and didn't want a hand off anyone to get up there, so I wanted to do it myself. So I was more nervous about that than anything, I think.
Let's go back to the fateful day, June 2012. You're playing for Leongatha.
Yep. You
were chasing the footy, not really I'm just leaning forward. There's a collision that could happen 100 times in a game,
yep.
Look to me, and you suffer quadriplegia of C5, C6.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. Being hit, you know, many times, a lot harder than that before, and this time just got hit, you know, at the wrong angle at the wrong time. And it was a rivalry game against Wonthaggi, Leongatha and Wonthaggi. You know, big clash, local derby, and don't really like each other on the field. And yeah, so it was a big day. The game nearly got called off. There was floods all around, and pretty hard to get to the game. They thought the roads were going to be closed, so it nearly got called off. And yeah, just went down to pick up the ball and got hit at the wrong angle. I think I've turned my body into it towards our goals, and been hit by him and pushed by another bloke as well. So I'm not sure if that's caused the dislocation in my neck.
So you go to the ground. You've got a dislocated neck and this burning sensation through the bulk of your body.
Yeah, so my whole body felt like it was on fire. I just had pins and needles everywhere, and the trainer comes over and touches my legs and arms. I couldn't feel anything. And,
That's when the alarm bell sounded?
Straight away I knew. I was yelling out, I've broken my neck. Don't touch me, I've broken my neck. And probably yelled a bit more as well. And obviously the scariest moment in my life. I was, so scared at that moment.
So the ambulance comes, takes you to hospital?
Yeah, so I got taken to hospital and then airlifted to the Alfred. I can't remember getting in the helicopter and getting taken there. I was probably drugged up to it. I remember saying that I was always kind of took my pain down. If someone asked you, how much pain you're in out of 10, I would always go to the lower end of the scale and try to be a bit tougher or something maybe. But this time, I don't know if I was in that much pain, but I was saying I was 10.
It's a 10.
Because I was just so scared. Just thinking, this can't be happening to me. I'm a 23-year-old bloke and, I think I'm like any other young bloke, invincible, and this can't be happening to me. And probably didn't realise the extent of it at the time, of what that would mean at the end of the day. But yeah, I was then flown to the Alfred where I was operated on. They put a plate and screws in my neck and took some bone from my hip to fuse it all together.
When was the fateful chat with the doctor who told you how serious it was? Do you remember that?
I can't remember one direct conversation. And yeah, looking back on it, I was diagnosed a quadriplegic. And
did you know what that meant?
No, I had no idea. Absolutely no idea. I thought that meant, Christopher Reeves couldn't move at all. Really couldn't move your head, and that's it. And that's what it was like early days as well. And after that, I always thought, oh no, this can't be happening to me. I'll be able to beat it. I didn't realise the extent that my spinal cord's that badly damaged it.
So it was crushed, wasn't it?
Yeah, crushed.
Yep.
There's no matter how hard I work, I'm not going to be able to repair that. I can work as hard as I can with the muscles I've got and get them as strong as I can, but there's nothing you can do to repair it. So
tell me that horrendous 3 weeks you had, where you couldn't eat, you needed help breathing. Your body had almost shut down, hadn't it?
Yeah, couldn't talk, eat or breathe. So
And you got a smile on your face.
Yeah, I was woke up next to partner Lucy and my family, and I was out to it for a week in a induced coma for a week, and I think I was just pretty happy to be alive because when I was out to it, I was coming. I was going in and out, and all I could remember was thinking that I was choking to death with all these tubes coming out of me, and woke up. Had a smile on my face and was just happy to be alive.
You mean that? You were sort of, it wasn't woe is me, it was more that I'm still here.
Yeah, it was probably something I've only said to Lucy before, but I remember when all these tubes were coming out of me and I was, kind of in that sedated state that I thought I was choking to death, and I closed my eyes my eyes were closed, but I kind of nodded off thinking, this is it,
Did you really?
Yeah, so to wake up and and be alive and whatnot, and still got my mind and all that, but not being able to eat and talk and breathe, you never think that's what a spinal cord injury would be.
And because you by your own admission, you're a lively kid.
Yeah.
You loved all the ball sports.
Yeah.
You weren't a bad player either, were you? Did you win 2 BNFs in the years before you got hurt?
Yeah, so 2 years before I hurt myself, I won. Fortunate enough to win, the best and fairest at the club, and it was played in the midfield. Nothing too special. Read the play quite well. Was quite a good runner. And love getting my hands on it.
Well, you obviously could play. You were the youngest player in the TAC Cup final 2005. Gippsland Power win. You were playing on the MCG. Some handy names alongside you that day, weren't there?
Yes, some very handy players. Scott Pendlebury and Dale Thomas. Were a couple.
That was Paul Hudson's team.
A couple of mates, Steve O'Brien and Ben Fraser.
Who you promised to mention to.
Yeah.
Did you think you were going to get drafted?
Well, that year I wasn't able to get drafted.
You're too young. You were 16.
Yeah, I was too young. And the year after first game of the year, first practice game, I ripped pretty much everything off my knee by the ACL, and that was a six-month injury, and got back and played the last couple games, and I never thought I'd be in contention to get drafted after being injured all season. And at the end of the year, Collingwood and Richmond showed a bit of interest and went down and trained with them. But yeah, nothing ended up eventuating.
So your old man's still got the bragging rights. Darryl, who played 17 games with Richmond and Sydney.
Yeah, he's got a few over me.
He's been there, yeah. Yeah, he's been a great support to you, hasn't he?
Yeah, my whole family has been fantastic. Some things you take for granted, and having a great upbringing and great family and great friends is something that I don't take for granted anymore.
What was the low point? I mean, I'm sure there were lots of them along the way, but was there one particular moment or period in the rehab where even your spirit, which is as strong as it is, was really tested?
Yeah, I remember it vividly. I got transferred from the Austin Hospital to the rehab centre 5 weeks post-injury, and I was in my room, just been shown around the complex. I was in this reasonably big room, all by myself, and just I couldn't do anything. I was in an electric chair, couldn't turn on the TV, I couldn't change pages of book, couldn't use my mobile phone, and I was all by myself. Family were working, and Lucy, my partner, was at uni that day, and I couldn't do anything for myself, and it hit me, that this was a reality.
What's the biggest frustration, Beau? Biggest single recurring theme that frustrates you?
Probably, I like to be as independent as I can, and I suppose, especially early days, needing people to help you with certain things is quite frustrating. I'm a pretty proud bloke, and try needing a hand to, early days needing a hand to feed myself and do different things, and I suppose I can't help out around the house as much as I used to.
I heard you weren't very good at that anyway.
Yeah, probably.
But the other thing, I know you obviously set yourself goals. I know that I read on your website that it used to take you 4 minutes to put on a T-shirt, take a T-shirt off. You've got that down to 1 minute.
Yeah, I think, I can't remember where that was reported, but that was a mistake. Taking my T-shirt off that time took me about 20 minutes, I think.
Really?
But yeah, it takes,
really?
yeah, so I remember I took it off and I got stuck down on my knees. I couldn't get back up off my knees. But now, yeah, I take it off, no worries with it, yeah, quite quickly. And when I first got home, I didn't want to go home with a carer and someone doing stuff for me. So go home, and the first day I'm getting changed by myself. It takes me a full day to get changed. Like by lunchtime, I'm pretty much got changed by then, and then it's only time to get unchanged again to go back to bed.
Really?
It took me that long.
You've been married since the accident, haven't you?
Yeah, got married. Yeah, been with Lucy since I was 15 years old, and
School?
Yeah, school.
Yeah.
School. We kind of always did our own thing, and always did our own thing. And once I hurt myself, we lived together on and off all the time because we were doing our own thing. We hadn't really lived together full time, and since I hurt myself, we moved in full time. It seemed the right time to. We're kind of always going to get married, and seemed the right time to do it, especially being through the situation we had to go through and come out stronger and love each other more on the other side.
Is Lucy a psychologist?
Yeah, psychologist, yeah.
Does that help or not?
Leave that stuff at home. Nah, it works, sorry. It doesn't help. It just helps having a loving wife and having a good relationship that we can talk about anything. And it's been good that, sometimes I pour my emotions out to her, especially early days. I'd kind of be a strong for everyone else in front of everyone else and put a front on, and then you get home and cry me heart out to her.
You would literally,
just probably for the first year, just once a week, I'd breakdown at night
What
time.
would be the tipping point? Would it be an event, or was it just the emotions just built up and then spilled over?
Yeah, probably just build up. Don't think certain events, maybe just not seeing the progress that I was wanting to see. Like, I'll be one step forward, two steps backwards in rehab, and I'd be trying so hard to get better, and or even trying to look at my fingers and try to get them to move them.
Are they working, the fingers?
Nah, sorry, yeah, I can't move my fingers at all.
But you're big on the emails, aren't you? Don't you? How do you manage that? How can you?
Yeah. Well, to pick up things, I've got something called tenodesis grip, where I pull my wrist back and my thumb and index finger together, and gives me a little bit of grip. And I don't know, I'll email. I used to two-finger type anyway. I can email. My index finger hangs over a little bit, my thumb, and able to two-finger type like that. So
is that getting better? Are you getting more mobility in your arms or hands or fingers?
No more mobility, but I'm just getting smarter at knowing how to use my body with the way it is now. So you learn different tricks, and
you have adapted really well, though, haven't you? I mean, you drive yourself. You get yourself in and out of your car.
Yeah, I drive around. It's pretty hard. First time trying to put this wheelchair, I have to pack it up, take it apart, and put it on the passenger seat next to me. And first time doing that, I'm thinking, no way, am I ever going to be able to do this? And as I timed myself and kept timing myself, and just got better and better at it, and do it in 2-3 minutes now.
So you jump in the car. You live in suburban Melbourne.
Yep.
Drive yourself down to Leongatha.
Yep.
Get yourself out of the car.
Yep.
And then take over as the coach.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then I'll get into an electric wheelchair, which allows me to get around the ground a bit easier, and set up drills. And
so you're occupying yourself. You've got the coaching job, obviously, and a uni course. So you've resumed that.
Yeah, uni. So doing a business degree there, and I was pretty nervous about going back to uni. I'm like, how am I going to do it? And the uni's said to me, they'll get someone to help me take notes and do all these things. I've been pretty stubborn and whatnot. I said, no, I'll be right, and I'll do it all myself. And got a splint made up which allowed me to be able to write and keep up with the lecture notes and go in there. And I was even nervous just getting into uni by myself for the first time. Like, getting around's not as easy as what it used to be. And,
Well, you've been overseas in the chair, haven't you?
Yeah. So Lucy and I went over for a month last year.
How were the cobblestones in Paris? Handle them all right?
It was pretty tough going. Yeah, some areas tough going, but with manual chair, and everyone's more than willing to help you out. And Lucy's quite a fit, strong girl that she can give us a hand with those little things as well.
What about kids, Beau?
I'm gonna have kids, and wouldn't mind. Lucy's.
I don't mean to be too intrusive here.
Lucy's fairly clucky with kids, and I'd love to have kids, and
you can.
Yeah, I can, and I think in the near future, Lucy and I will look to go down that path.
I want to remind you of a line in a story that Patrick Carline did in the Herald Sun a few months ago. He didn't tell us what it was, but he said all the group broke up because you said something uproariously funny and politically incorrect. You want to share that with us?
Oh, I don't know if I can share it. One night at training, I was pretty happy with myself, and I got all the boys down in the goal square away from Patrick, who was down there, and his reporter and whatnot. And there's a lot of things in a wheelchair that you can't necessarily do, and it was 2.5 years after I hurt myself and hadn't been able to get one off with a missus, Mike. So
I'm laughing so much. So that's what it was.
The night before, I was feeling a bit lighter.
Beau, one of the most memorable lines out of your address to the AFL pre-season was you said of the accident, life has thrown me a curveball. I remember thinking how mature and how brave and honest that is for you to say that, given you're entitled to feel so hard done by.
Yeah, I suppose I'm playing the sport I love and something I've done every Saturday. And in an instant, one contest, I've gone from, being a reasonably good athlete and real fit young man, and to a quadriplegic and facing the rest of my life in a wheelchair. So yeah, that's some curveball. Just come from left field, that one, and it's not something you'd imagine going to a football game on a Saturday and imagine possible.
Beau, of those 10 or 12 blokes that you played with at Gippsland Power that all got drafted, who surprised you the most?
I suppose Scotty Pendlebury's got to be. He's captain of biggest club. He wasn't a standout in our Gippsland Power side. And to be able to go on and do the things that he's doing now is
the good judges say Vernon should have gone ahead of Pendlebury, is that right?
Yeah, no, I wish.
I bet you do. So you're working for the AFL 3 days a week?
Yeah, the AFL there, with the Clay McKinnon and risk management, insurance side of things.
So tell us about that. You're dealing with risk management for footballers and football clubs?
Yeah, so involved with the insurance side of things and just getting the awareness out there to get the quad para cover up, which the AFL has done. Did
you have that cover?
No, I didn't have what it is at today, no. But so dealt with that and then, involved with that and involved with the risk management of AFL clubs and getting processes in place for that.
Hey, Beau, you'd be familiar with the affair going with Cameron Smith and Alex McKinnon over an on-field incident in rugby league.
Yeah.
You aware of that?
Yeah. I watched that the other week.
You watched that on 60 Minutes?
Yeah.
Where do you sit with that? You feel sympathy for... Of course, we all feel sympathy for McKinnon.
Yeah.
Because he's in a predicament like you.
Yeah.
What was your view about Cameron Smith?
I don't think there was anything wrong with what Cameron Smith said. I was just disappointed with the way Channel 9 went about it, really. I think Alex McKinnon seeing that vision for the first time, he's probably going to have the right to be angry, and I don't think Cam Smith, meant anything harsh by it. So I feel sorry for both.
Yeah, I know.
Really.
There's no winners in that.
Yeah.
In your collision, as innocent as it looked, any malice from you about anything that occurred in that at that moment?
No, not really. No.
Have you spoken to the guy, the other guy?
No, I haven't spoken to him. He made the club sent me a card with, just bloke signing it and whatnot, and he signed that, but didn't make any contact with me, which...
That surprised you?
Probably. If I was him, I probably would, but I understand. Maybe it's hard for him to he probably feels bad about it, and I'm sure he didn't mean to put me in the situation I'm in now, and I understand that, so I don't hold any grudges.
So for you, it's just an episode entirely based on bad luck, with terrible consequences.
Yeah, I've got no doubt. Probably his eyes would have lit up with me picking up the ball, and would have tried hitting me a little bit harder, which I would do with other players as well, on other good players on other teams as well. So I got no doubt that probably that happened, but no way he would have meant to.
No, I reckon you would have been an inside player, were you?
Early days, yeah, I think I was more of an inside player. Did my AC joint pretty badly a year and a half before I hurt myself, and probably got a bit more outside ball after that, but probably a combination of both.
In the physical sense, what's the biggest improvement in the 3 years since you've been hurt? One that you can look back and sort of say, look, I've really made some ground here. I'm really proud of whatever it is.
I was 6 weeks in. I couldn't itch my nose.
Really?
Yeah. Took me.
You couldn't scratch an itchy nose. Yeah.
Couldn't for 4 months. Probably couldn't feed myself.
And you can do that now?
Yeah, all normally. Don't have any splints or anything like that to be able to do that. Transferring took, 6 months before I could even, I'd be on a bed, sitting up on a bed, and just to be able to lift my bum a little bit off the bench now, be able to transfer in and out of bed and in and out of the car and do all those things, I suppose, and just be able to dress myself's massive, I think. I have to work so hard to be able to do it, and it just gives me that independence to be able to do that, which I'm really happy with.
Hence your message at the AFL season launch. I mean, don't take things for granted. Appreciate what we've got.
Yeah, I'm definitely. With me, I was good at every sport I tried. I was, had a great family, a great girlfriend, great mates, and yeah, you never. It takes for something bad to happen before you realise how good you got it. And I wish I could go back and step into, or step in my shoes the way I am now for a few days and then go back to the way I was.
Yeah.
I'll be able to achieve a lot more, I think.
I bet, yeah.
Everything I try, no joke, first time I do it, I'm like, I'm never going to be able to do that. That's what it feels like. And I'll work at it, and by the end, I do it second nature, a lot of things. So,
is that your natural resolve to be able to conquer things and do things that might otherwise be seen to be out of reach? Or have you learnt that?
I think playing footy at a higher standard growing up definitely taught me how to train hard and taught me to want to achieve things. And I suppose, I reckon definitely football's taught me those things, and to be able to do those things, and yeah.
Are there dreams? Have you got dreams that you want, that you're looking at in short to medium term that you want to achieve?
Oh, short term,
win a premiership.
Want to win a premiership.
Yeah.
And just want to keep working at what I'm doing and try. Always used to set goals for myself all the time, and kind of probably longer term goals, and something would come up where it'd just change and pull me off course a little bit. So I'm trying to work as hard as I can at what I'm doing now, and hopefully the rest will take care of itself. But definitely a premiership in the short term, and potentially some sort of Paralympic sport.
So you participate in, yeah?
Yeah.
I hadn't met you before. It's been a great honour to sit down and talk to you, and to see someone who's so brave about their predicament and so optimistic about what the future is. So I'm in awe of how you've handled the first 3 years, and wish you all the best from here.
Thanks very much, Mike.